Imagine this for a moment. It's the first of the month. You walk to your mailbox like you always do. The sun is shining. You're thinking about groceries, maybe a doctor's appointment later this week. And then you see it. A plain white envelope. Return address. Social Security Administration. You open it right there on the porch, and your hands start to shake. The letter says you were overpaid. It says you owe Social Security thousands of dollars. And it says that starting next month, they will begin withholding money from your monthly check until the debt is paid back in full. Your heart sinks. Your throat goes dry. You stand there in your slippers, holding a piece of paper that just told you the income you depend on, the money that pays your rent, your medicine, your electric bill, is about to be cut in half. Or worse. You feel sick. You feel angry. And you feel completely alone. If this has ever happened to you or to someone you love, I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to tell you could save your entire monthly Social Security check. Hello, my friend. I am Artur. I'm a Senior Policy Analyst, and I spend my days helping retirees just like you understand the complicated rules that control your retirement income. I read the official Social Security press releases. I read the AARP policy updates. I read the forms, the regulations, and the fine print that most people never see. And today, I'm going to walk you through the exact rule behind this letter. I'm going to show you the precise steps you must take to protect your benefits. And I'm going to do it in plain English, the way I would explain it to my own mother, sitting at her kitchen table. But please, stay with me until the very end of this video. Because there is one hidden mistake that thousands of seniors are making right now when they receive this letter. It's a mistake that feels harmless. It feels like the right thing to do. And yet, it can permanently cost you the right to fight back. I'll reveal it before we finish, so don't click away. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 67 years old. He's a retired bus driver from Ohio. He worked hard his whole life. He paid into Social Security every single paycheck for over 40 years. He raised 2 children. He buried his wife 3 years ago. And now he lives in a small one-bedroom apartment getting by on his Social Security retirement check of about $1,847 a month. Robert is careful with money. He pays his bills on time. He never bounces a check. He even keeps a little notebook where he writes down every expense. But last spring, Robert did something that millions of retirees do. He picked up some part-time work at the local hardware store, just 12 hours a week. He wanted a little extra money for his grandson's birthday. He wanted to feel useful again. He didn't think much of it. He figured, I'm past full retirement age, the earnings limit doesn't apply to me, so what's the harm? And he was right about the earnings limit. But here's what Robert didn't know. He also received a small survivor benefit from his late wife's record. And that benefit had different reporting rules tied to it. He didn't update Social Security about a change in his living situation either, because his daughter had moved in for a few months to help him recover from knee surgery. 8 months later, Robert got the letter. The Social Security Administration said he had been overpaid by $6,200. They said starting in 30 days, they would begin withholding 50% of his monthly check until the entire amount was recovered. 50%. That meant Robert would be living on roughly $923 a month. His rent alone was $1,100. Robert sat at his kitchen table and cried. He thought he had done something terribly wrong. He thought he was in trouble with the government. He almost didn't tell anyone because he was ashamed. But Robert's mistake wasn't working part-time. His mistake was something else entirely. And I'll come back to him in just a moment. First, let me explain exactly what this letter is and what the rules say. The letter is called a Notice of Overpayment. It is issued by the Social Security Administration when they decide for any reason that you received more money than you were entitled to. Sometimes it's because of unreported income. Sometimes it's because of a change in marital status. Sometimes it's because of a living arrangement that affects SSI. And sometimes, my friend, it's simply because Social Security itself made a mistake. Their own Inspector General has admitted that many overpayments are caused by errors inside the agency, not by the beneficiary. But here is the hard truth. The law requires Social Security to seek repayment, no matter who caused the error. Now, the rules around how much they can withhold have changed dramatically in the last 2 years, and I want you to understand this clearly. Back in March of 2024, after a public outcry, Social Security capped the default withholding rate at just 10% of your monthly check. That was a kindness to seniors. But then, on March 7th, 2025, Social Security reversed course. They announced they would go back to withholding 100% of your monthly benefit. That means your entire Social Security check gone until the debt was repaid. Then, on April 25th, 2025, after pressure from advocacy groups like AARP, Social Security backed off again. They lowered the default rate to 50%. That's where it stands today for retirement, survivor, family, and disability benefits. For supplemental security income, the rate remains at 10%. So let me say this very clearly. If you receive a notice of overpayment today, and you do nothing, Social Security will automatically begin withholding half of every single monthly check you receive until your entire debt is repaid. Not 10%, half. And if you happen to receive a notice during that narrow window between March 27th and April 24th of 2025, your withholding could have been 100% of your check. Some seniors lost their entire income overnight during that period. Now here is the most important thing I'm going to tell you in this entire video. You have rights, real, legal, official rights, and Social Security must honor them. But you have to act, and you have to act fast. You have 60 days from the date on that letter to file an appeal if you disagree that you were overpaid, or if you disagree with the amount. The form for that is called Form SSA-561-U2, Request for Reconsideration. You can also file a waiver at any time, with no deadline if you agree you were overpaid, but you believe it wasn't your fault, or you simply cannot afford to pay it back. The form for that is Form SSA-634-BK, Request for Waiver of Overpayment Recovery. And there's a third form most seniors have never even heard of, Form SSA-634, Request for Change in Repayment Rate. This form lets you ask Social Security to withhold less than 50% each month if the default rate causes you financial hardship. Here's the part that gives me hope for you. Social Security has stated officially that they do not pursue recoveries while an appeal or waiver is pending. Let me say that again. The moment you file Form SSA 561 or Form SSA 632, the clock stops. They cannot touch your check while your case is being reviewed. But if you wait, if you ignore the letter, if you assume it's a scam and throw it away, the 30-day pause window closes. The 60-day appeal window closes. And after about 90 days, automatic withholding begins with no further warning. Now, let me come back to Robert. Robert's real mistake, the one I mentioned earlier, was that he assumed the letter was a scam. He'd seen news stories about Social Security fraud calls. He thought, this can't be real. The government wouldn't just take half my check without a phone call first. So he put the letter in a drawer and tried to forget about it. 3 months later, his check arrived at $923 instead of $1,847. The withholding had already begun, and because more than 60 days had passed, he had lost his right to appeal the overpayment determination itself. Robert was able to file a waiver because waivers have no deadline, and eventually, after months of phone calls and paperwork, he got his withholding reduced. But he lost months of full benefits that he will never recover, all because he didn't act on the letter when it arrived. I don't want that to be you. So let me give you 3 exact steps. Write these down. Pause the video if you need to. These 3 steps can protect your entire Social Security check. Step 1. The moment you receive any letter from the Social Security Administration, do not assume it is a scam and do not assume it is junk mail. Open it. Read it carefully. Look for the words overpayment, notice, or withholding. If you see those words, take a photo of the letter with your phone or make a photocopy. Then call Social Security directly at 1-800-777-21213 to confirm the letter is real. You can also log into your account at ssa.gov to verify. Never call the phone number printed in a suspicious email or text. Always use the official number. Step 2. Within 30 days of the date on that letter, file either an appeal or a waiver. If you believe Social Security made a mistake about whether you were overpaid, file Form SSA-561-U2, the request for reconsideration. If you agree you were overpaid but it wasn't your fault, or you cannot afford to repay it, file Form SSA-634-BK, the request for waiver of overpayment recovery. Filing within 30 days freezes the clock and stops Social Security from touching your check while they review your case. You can file these online, by mail, or in person at your local Social Security office. You can even start the waiver process by phone in many cases. Step 3. Keep copies of everything. Every letter Social Security sends you, every form you submit, every phone call, the date, the time, and the name of the person you spoke to. Write it all down in a notebook. If your case ever goes before an administrative law judge, those records become your strongest defense. And if you can, request a personal conference with Social Security before any collection begins. You have a right to that meeting. They must grant it. Now, before I let you go, I want to be honest with you about something. Social Security is not the enemy here. Most of the people who work at your local office genuinely want to help. But the system is overwhelmed. They handle nearly 73 million beneficiaries. Mistakes happen. Letters get sent in error, notices get lost, and the burden of fighting back falls on you, the senior, the one who can least afford to lose a single dollar. That is why I make these videos. That is why this channel exists. If this information helped you, or if you know a friend, a neighbor, a brother or sister who depends on Social Security, please share this video with them today. Don't wait, because if that letter shows up in their mailbox tomorrow, the clock starts ticking immediately. And please do not rely only on YouTube notifications to keep you informed. YouTube changes its rules all the time. Notifications get missed. Algorithms hide videos. Subscribe to this channel, Senior Pension Benefits Hub, and turn on the bell, but also visit SSA.gov directly every few months. Check your benefits status. Read the press releases. Stay informed, because your retirement security depends on it. You worked your whole life for this money. You paid into the system with every single paycheck. You earned every dollar of that monthly check. Do not let one envelope, one missed deadline, or one moment of confusion take it away from you. I am Artur. Thank you for trusting me with your time today. Stay strong, stay alert, and I will see you in the next video.